I'm not at Hammers. In case you can't tell, this is not Johnson Valley. It is still my driveway. And while I am disappointed for several reasons, King of the Hammers is a fantastic event, and I really want to get out there to just be part of it, Burning Man for trucks as I call it, but also to meet you guys. There's a bunch of people who I've been communicating with that I know were looking forward to seeing the truck as much as I was. But hey, live to fight another day. I have managed to get a bunch of stuff done, but unfortunately it was not enough. The big thing holding me back was brakes. I changed the master cylinder and the proportioning valve, and so the line sizes all changed. I needed to get a bunch of different adapters, AN to metric, AN to standard, all kinds of stuff. So that's on the way, but yeah, it's not done. But what this did give me opportunity to do is to slow down the build again, which is kind of the way I like to work. I don't like being rushed. I like to be able to take my time and do it the way I envision it. So I've slowed down again and got all the wiring dialed in, got everything labeled, cleaned up. I had some codes that I needed to deal with when I started the engine, but got those sorted. Mass airflow's back in, intake's back in, all the wiring is being tucked up out of the way, the batteries are in, and I'm happy with how it's come together. So, yep, disappointing, but you know, my first concern has to be safety, and going on the road without fully functioning and tested brakes just didn't seem like a good idea.
Well, it is quite the mess in here. But out here, it's starting to get tidied up. Yeah, let's see. So I'm working on this side of the truck exclusively right now. Trying to get everything buttoned up over here. I'm looking pretty good. This still needs to get sorted, but apart from that, everything's looking good here. So a multimeter is one of the best tools you can have. In fact, I think it's indispensable for doing anything electrical. So I don't really know how to use this all that well, other than just testing voltage and continuity, and occasionally I'll test to see how many amps are being pushed. But what this can help me do very quickly and easily is check grounds and continuity. So what I'm doing right now is, this is my main 150 amp breaker off of my starter. So what essentially this is doing, this is going to act like a, well, it's going to be a fusible link between my ignition and the battery. So basically, if something gets turned on, it's drawing too much power, it's obviously going to pop this fuse. So the trick is going to be making sure that I have the power from the battery going to the side of the fuse that is on the battery side, not on the ignition side. So to do that right now, I'm just going to test continuity from that guy to continuity. You see that red wire coming down from underneath my dash? That's going to be the 12 volt switched signal, or 12 volt constant on the fuse block. And yeah, we'll just test continuity and see which side it's popping up on. Multimeter will basically, with continuity, you can figure out if you got a short in the circuit or not. So what I want to do right now is figure out which side of this goes to the fuse block, or which one comes from the side of the battery. Real simple. So one side of the lead is hooked up to the terminal on the fuse block, and then you can see if I go nothing on that one. Did you hear that? And what this enables me to do is determine, yep, the fuse is what carries this across, but I want to have the battery or starter cable positive going to this side. I was very happy to get everything up off of the fender wells, the inner wheel liners, and get stuff up on the core support and the sides. Now I am going to build some splash guards underneath, just something to keep water and mud and other stuff off the engine and the electricals, but for now this works. I did take the opportunity to fix up a lot of my wiring. I enjoy doing wiring. I enjoy making it
logical and secure, but it is quite a bit of work. But yeah, I had everything apart. Now is the time to do it. As you can see, it's all tucked up nicely. Nothing interferes with the tires under full bump, and I couldn't be happier. Yeah, like I mentioned, I'm bummed not to make it out to King of the Hammers, but you know what? King of the Hammers will be there next year, and I wanted to make sure that this thing was dialed and done, and I am really happy with how it's come out. My vision for what I wanted this truck to be is slowly coming into focus. I've still got some more surprises up my sleeve as to things I want to get done with it, but I'm really proud to say that I built this myself. I've enjoyed the process, I've learned a ton, and I would do it again. In fact, maybe I will to a larger vehicle, maybe a Suburban. Heat Shield was kind enough to send me a bunch of their stuff, including their header wrap. I'm moving away from the ceramic coating, and yes, this was difficult to apply, but it just looks so awesome. And it works. Man, if I could tell you how many hours I had spent at night just hanging out in the garage, staring at my truck, thinking up ideas, you would think I was crazy. But to sit here and to see my ideas in the flesh and have all this hope and expectation for what they're going to do is kind of nerve-wracking. I really can't wait to get this thing back on the trail and make sure that it performs as well as it does in my head.
The shaft that I had in there previously, that JK, CJ, PK Jeep shaft, great shaft, but it interferes. It hits the springs on the way through. So we're going to have to put a shaft with a couple of universals and a Heim in there. I'll show you guys in a minute, but I'm cutting the main shaft down. I'm going to link this product in the show notes. This is an awesome upgrade for anyone looking to get rid of their stock rag joint and Chinsey slip. This is a full Borgeson shaft for our trucks that is going to have slip, universals, lock nuts, everything. So yeah, but now we're gonna cut it down. Look at that. Okay, here's a better look at what we're dealing with. Yeah, so it goes through that universal and down there. So this works. The problem is this is hideously ugly. So I've got to pull this all apart and tidy that up, and then I've got to figure out something to do with my bump, because I don't want my bump traveling up from a hit and taking out my steering. That would not be good. So let's pull this guy apart. Yeah, so let's flex this out on the passenger side first and see where we hit. Oh man, I'm feeling like this might happen. Dude, look.
Yeah.
Look at those lakes. Okay. I think I'm gonna need to lower that bump.
I would.
Sweet.
Lower another inch, because remember it's going to compress up.
Yeah. Okay, let's pull these coils and put the other ones back on and try and get ride height.
Yeah.
Here's the proportioning valve going up to, you can see up there, my new master. So yeah, everything got tucked up nicely. I'm stoked on how it looks and how it came out. It has been a gnarly weekend. I'm gonna start the truck right now. Well, I'm gonna go to the keyed ignition and check lights and things like that, and then I need to bleed the power steering. But I thought you might... I thought you guys might want to check it out. Fire extinguisher at the ready. So a couple things to consider before you do start your truck for the first time. Listen for any fuses popping or relays clicking, things like that. I've already tested the ground on my battery and I know that's good. Tested the ground on a couple other accessories that I hooked up and they seem to be good. So yeah, what I always try and do when I start it for the first time is just use all my senses. Obviously I'm going to look and see if I see anything peculiar. I'm going to smell if I smell anything, specifically an electrical smell. Oh, not good. Hopefully I shouldn't have any issues because all the wire gauge is appropriate and all my grounds are good, but you never know. So, here goes now. Okay, it's started and it's running.